welcome to Larps and Tarps. Today we're going to be talking about ApotheKerrie. I'm Kerrie, otherwise known as Lupita.
Hey, it's funny because it's a pun. ApotheKerrie, Kerrie.
And I'm joined by the wonderful Tom, who's Uncle Nietzsche, and Morgan, who's Tristan.
Hello. I do not abide by all terrible puns.
Yes, we're all very glad we invited Tom to this recording.
It's too hot.
It's actually a very funny joke. I appreciate it. Sorry, Kerrie, please continue.
Okay, well, I suppose first of all I'll discuss how you get the ApotheKerrie skill to begin with. So ApotheKerrie is one of the surgical skills, and if you want to be doing any kind of healing at LARP, you're obviously going to need some of those. The first thing you need is Churjun. Is that how I pronounce it?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
I was going to ask a really stupid question.
Chirugeon. No.
Churjun?
Surgeon?
It's,
I don't think everyone at LARP knew.
It's definitely Cheerjoon. No, Cheerjoon. Anyway, I have a really silly question.
Yeah.
Just right off the bat. What's an ApotheKerrie?
ApotheKerrie is someone who makes potions, basically. Yeah.
You mean you don't heal people by hitting them with sticks and swords?
No. Though to be fair, if you take the physics skill, you can use whatever kind of roleplay you want to heal people. So you could potentially hit people with sticks to do that. I mean, you do need people's permission to touch them. But if you want to go for something a little bit more...
Cheeky LARP smack.
Yeah, cheeky LARP smack. If you want to use that, you can have a go.
And you were saying, because we spoke about skills before, so you need... So hang on, there's like tiers, because I thought you just picked ApotheKerrie.
No, well, first of all, if you want any of the surgical skills, you need the Chirugeon, however you pronounce it, skill.
The medic skill. The physics skill.
No,
No, that's
the
something
physics
different.
skill.
Fuck.
First of all, you need the Churjun skill. I'm just going to go with that pronunciation of that. And then you can unlock the physic or the ApotheKerrie skill, or even both.
So you need the Chirugeon skill first, and then... Sorry.
The Chewbacca skill.
Chewbacca sound!
So that's a 1 point skill. And that all that does is it basically means that you can stabilise a character who's coming out of the battlefield, for example, and you spend about 30 seconds of appropriate role playing just basically you just have your hand on your shoulder and you're like guiding them to where they're going, and that stops them from bleeding to death before they can get treatment. And it means that you've obviously unlocked the other skills. Physic is a 3 point skill, and that's for your actual healing skills. So you can use herbs if you're a physic, but you can't use them otherwise, which is why potions come in handy, because anyone can use a potion. And you could use those to heal people, to cure venom, cure weakness, whatever it is really, cure traumatic wounds.
Herbs. This is herbs.
Well, yeah, physics skill and herbs.
Yeah.
Though obviously potions also each have their own effect and cover most of those things as well.
Mooks like us can use potions.
I have used potions.
So if you want to actually do roleplay surgery on people, you do need the physics skill.
I have had roleplay surgery done to me as well. I get hit a lot.
I don't tend to get hit a lot. I don't know if that says something about me or who I hang around with.
Just cowardice, I think.
Yeah, I just throw other players in front of me.
You're just too slow in that big heavy armour. By the time you get to the middle of the battlefield, it's all done.
I do only have diddy legs.
Okay, so anyway, the main topic of conversation, ApotheKerrie, that's a 2 point skill, and that unlocks basic recipes. Why are you smiling at me like that?
I was going to say something. No, it's fine.
No, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, which skill do you need to get the ApotheKerrie skill?
ApotheKerrie's Kerrie skill.
ApotheKerrie.
Yes, I am the ApotheKerrie.
The ApotheKerrie. With the Churjun skill.
Anyway, back to our main topic, ApotheKerrie, which is a 2 point skill.
I kind of want Lupita to die and Kerrie to come back and make a Walter White style ApotheKerrie. Let's cook.
I feel like it could still happen.
Yeah, Lupita's not that fully developed. I've only had one session. Though I'm not sure my little wooden pestle and mortar and my little crate of potions really fits the Walter White motif.
I don't know, I think it does, but never mind, we'll move on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Carry on, Walter. Sorry everyone, it's delirious from the heat.
I
It's a
thought
very
that
hot day.
you were the guys we took the piss out of. When did I become like...
When you decided to take the lead, that's how it be.
Sorry, who asked me to do a thing on ApotheKerrie?
Oh, come on.
Okay.
She tells more about
Because
ApotheKerrie.
you've got the smarts, we just beat it.
Okay. So if you're an ApotheKerrie, then you can mix herbs together to make a potion. So if you're wanting to be an ApotheKerrie, it's good to choose a herb garden as your resource so that you've got a stock of herbs to go off of. You can also buy them around at Blarp, at Anvil. But obviously it's always good to start off with it as your resource. So it takes a few minutes of role playing, which can just be like pretending to pour herbs into a little pestle and mortar and mashing them about. And it also includes you going to the god tent because you'll have to trade in your herb cards and get potion cards or lammies.
Have we spoken about the god tent before?
We might have briefly mentioned it, but I don't feel like we've talked about it nearly as much as deep as we in.
Yeah, just to clarify, I guess. So the god tent is game operations desk. Yeah, there we go. Which is like where you go, it's like in the out of character area where you go to do like anything like, like Kerrie says, I've made a potion with my ApotheKerrie skill, or I've got a magic item I want to be bonded to me, or I need to do a ritual. And you go there and you're like, hi, can you log the fact this has happened, right? Basically.
I'm really impressed they have all those computers there out in the wild.
Yeah, in the open air tent. But it's, just that's what God is. We don't just have to pray to get this.
I suggest if you have stuff to do with God, do it as soon as possible because there's always a queue there. You don't want to be there 2 minutes before a skirmish waiting for God, trying to get your potions or weapons attuned.
So you can RP it, and part of the RP can be you going to God.
Yeah. Though it's, they did say in the intro to ApotheKerrie session, which you can also do on your first day at LARP, just to get an idea for how things work, that you can literally just go into your tent and like pretend that you're role playing. Like if you don't have all the equipment and like the little pestle and mortar,
you just go have a little nap, come back out again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been brewing in there. That's my little ApotheKerrie den.
She just spits in the potion she makes to me.
This is smoke coming out of it. It's definitely nothing. Nothing dodgy. Oh.
Just getting blazed. Yeah, don't worry. I'm working on it, man. Don't worry.
It's those herbs,
She's just pouring the runoff of all potions all together and mixing it.
Exactly. And when you make a potion, obviously you get the potion card or the laminated card from the god tent, but you also need to have a fizz rep in order to use a potion. So I believe that if you're making potions and selling them, you're not required to provide a fizz rep. Though I want to, and I've made some just for...
every time I've bought a potion, someone's given me a fizz... Oh, fizz rep means physical representation. Another thing I don't...
We have covered that.
We've definitely said the word fizz rep.
You've referred to yourself as a fizz rep.
I've definitely said fizz rep. Whether or not it's... We've said fizz rep means physical representation.
Yeah. So, for example, I've got some little bottles which they're actually marketed on Amazon for like alcohol samplers.
It's the cutest fucking tray I've ever seen. I love it so much.
If you would like to see pictures of my little potions and the little crate that I've made, you can have a little look on our Twitter.
Get your ass down to Anvil and buy potions in person.
Come and find me at Lupita's Wandering Potion Emporium, where I will be wandering around with a crate strapped to me.
Say it.
It'd just be great if she was just stagnant in one place.
Say code LARPs and Tarps 10 to get your free potion today.
No, I do not do free potions.
Not a real offer. If you say LARPs and Tarps to Lupita, she'll go, sorry, I do not know what that means.
I mean, if you fluff my ego up a little bit, you might get a slight discount, but, yeah.
I wouldn't expect that from a freeborn.
Well, that's out of character, isn't it? So, and I say a slight discount, you're still at least paying costs.
A discount of 0 rings.
Yes. So, I was going to do this for a crown and 6 rings, but you know what? Let's make it 5.
You'll actually get the potion and I won't shank you.
Yeah, you can actually have the fizz rep. So, actually to drink the potions, you need to use 30 seconds of roleplay. So that will be potentially drinking.
Is it 30 seconds?
It is 30 seconds, yeah.
What?
So pretending to...
You can't have your potion in the middle of a combat.
I thought it was 5 seconds.
No, it's 30 seconds according to this. Hang on,
hell.
let me fact check that. On
I'm not. I'm just very much like, I've never spent 30 seconds drinking a potion, but...
I think it's getting it out.
It is 5 seconds.
Oh, it is 5 seconds.
Let's go back.
Yeah. So that kind of role play, it would either be maybe taking off the bottle and drinking it, depending on what the actual contents are. Though you need to check when you buy the fizz reps because, for example, mine are made with watercolours. So while you might not get incredibly sick from drinking them, it's not technically edible.
It's not food, so.
No, it's not.
And they've been sitting in your front room for like a week.
Yeah, I might refresh those before we actually go. I might make them with food colouring instead.
Told me one that was a old smoothie or a smoothie on the weekend. I was like, I don't want to drink this green thing.
The ones I got were, one guy came up to me and goes, that's just blackcurrant juice. And I was like, oh, great. And then the other one, he was like, do not drink these because it had glitter in them.
So it's quite easy. Well, you can get like edible glitters to put.
It was
in
not
them,
edible.
but,
You never know.
yeah.
It could be golf schlag.
It also leaked all over my bag.
So it's definitely good to check whether or not the potions are fit to be consumed. Though also, if you don't drink them, and if it's something like I specifically chose to do watercolors so that they would hopefully last. Though the watercolors have separated from the water a little bit, so you just shake them up to get that full vibrancy. But I'm aiming to get something that will last so that you can keep it, and then when you want to buy another potion later, then you got a discounted price because you don't need the fizz rep.
You could fully say that your potions are shake to activate.
Yeah.
So when you shake it to get the watercolour going.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Oh, that's part of your 5 seconds role play. 3 seconds of shaking, then just hold it in your
Down
full
the
hand
hatch.
so no one can see that there's no liquid actually coming out of it. And that's also a great way to use herbs. If you've got a little bottle with some, I don't know, rosemary or something inside of it, and then you just cover up where the lid is, and it looks like you're shaking it out onto wherever you're going, and then just put it back in your pocket. And then it's, a pretty nice way of role-playing it without actually wasting real-life resources.
That just remind me I need to actually bother to get fizz reps for my anti-venoms this time.
Yeah, you can't use them otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite important.
Kerrie, make me some watercolours, please.
Well, you'll have to let me know exactly what you need, and I'll help you sort that out.
You're a doll.
Yeah.
Is it blade? Oh, what's it called?
Blade root.
Yeah, but what's the potion for venom? No, blood, something.
Mage blood.
No, blood root, blood marrow.
Blood harrow filter.
Blood harrow filter. That's the one. That's the anti-venom.
I have one of those as well, actually. Well, I say I have them. I've made fizz reps. I've worked out how many herbs I'm going to get when I get my collection from my herb garden with the ones that I've saved from last session.
Event.
E1.
The last event that I went to, and I've worked out how many herbs I'll have of each, what I should make, and I've made fizz reps for all the ones, so I know exactly what I'm making, and I'll have loads of true vervain left, which is one of the herbs that is in massive abundance. So I'm thinking of donating some of those to the hospital, although again, it's not very freeborn to donate.
No.
But it is the hospital, which is part of the whole cause.
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say so.
I mean, after everything that's happening for us, I mean,
Yeah, but like.
Yeah.
They don't. This is my understanding of the
Yeah.
brief. I would have been like, if they like you, the fact you've done me a favour is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like it's you. If you would like, I can pay for this favour, but I mean, it's up to you.
yeah, it's fair.
When the League were marching off for our big battle in E1, I remember someone was handing out herbs from the hospital like they were candies to our physics.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, that's one of the reasons I did have a little stint at the hospital, and I had to use my own herbs. And as a freeborn, I was a bit like, freeborns have this very big thing, if you don't know, where everything has a cost, and you don't just do a favour and then owe someone one or something like that. You like even when you're just like trying to sit down at a fire.
You don't get rounds in the brass coast.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything is sort of if you give someone something, you settle it then and there. There is no like. I owe you something. So it was a bit like, so I'm giving away my herbs for free, am I? My herbs and my time. So I've gone for a very stingy potion seller kind of roleplay aspect in comparison.
May I ask what drew Kerrie to become the ApotheKerrie?
I liked the idea of making the fizz reps. I like the idea of making the potions as well. I like the idea of maybe one time, at some point, learning how to make poisons and things, though. Go into that a little bit later about how the mechanics of that all works then. And I can't imagine actually using any of the poisons. It's just, it just seemed like fun. I can't really put my finger on exactly why.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you've made a bunch of fizz reps.
Yes.
Are you gonna get there and then go to God and make all those potions?
I'm going to do a bit of role playing first. So on timing on Friday, I'll go to the Brass Coast Nation meeting. And, actually, I'll probably do the role play first thing on Saturday morning, knock about a little bit, sit outside my tent, make it very clear what I'm doing so that if I get some potential people walking around going, oh, you're making potions, and I'll be like, yes, find me later when they're all finished brewing.
Nice.
And then
you
I'll
can
sort
go
it
around and
out.
sell them, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll walk around, maybe even take it when everyone's queuing up to go into combat. So
Ruthless.
Yeah, well, a lot of people
time.
do. There are quite
No,
a
it
few
fully
people
is.
who walk around shouting, does anybody need,
Oh yeah, I always.
this or that?
It's always funny because I think it makes a lot of sense, but it's really funny. It's Tristan. Tristan's like disgusting. How dare you take
Yeah.
advantage of these people?
To be fair, I'm
mean,
standing there
it's-
this week before
It's
my battle.
supply
Like,
and demand.
shit, I need a potion. I still haven't been able to find myself a health
Yeah.
potion
Well,
to
yeah,
buy.
because not everyone knows where to look.
unusually they've all been snagged.
Yeah.
It's really funny because when the Druge we're fighting the Druge on Saturday, whatever happens, someone's fighting the Druge, and they like to use venom. So if you go around on the Friday, being like, or on the Saturday, being like, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need, because I was in Dawn, and at the time I was planning on fighting some Valorn spawn at some point. Valorn creatures, and that if you hit, I was told this, if it's wrong, it's not my fault. I was told that if you hit a Valorn creature with venom, one hit dead. So I was like, I would like to fight some Valorn. I need to find something that does venom. And I heard someone behind me. Did somebody say they want a potion? And I turned around like, oh. Yeah, and I was like, yes. And he goes, I have that. I was like,
the more experienced players know what you'll be looking for, and they'll have things ready. I tried to get a bit of a variety. I got two elixir vitaes, which are basically just healing potions, and then I got a bit of a variety between. I think I've got a mana potion, I've got an anti-venom. I can't remember exactly what I've got in there, but I will make sure I've got it all written down so I know exactly what I'm selling when I'm there. And I'll probably write up a little in-character price list and leave the prices till I get there and find out what things are going for, because prices do go up and down at the event.
It's the magazine called the...
Frugal Squid. Thrifty Squid.
Thrifty, yeah. Because so I know that one of our friend of the podcast, Emma, who plays Esty, she bought that because she's an artisan. She was selling magic items.
I also bought one when I was wandering around with a freeborn friend.
I feel like you need to go into a full Oliver Twist, who will buy my beautiful potions montage.
I am part bard as well, so I should go around with some kind of jingle, shouldn't I?
Pay for the potions,
and
stay
fact,
for the song.
It's quite common for freeborn to have like jingly skirts and things, and
jingle,
I will literally jingle around.
You can hear them in battle.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you've gone through a portal and you're well away from Anvil.
I'd love to go on a stealth mission with the Brass Coast.
Why?
Just stand there watching from the gate. Just like,
for the sheer fidelity. Anyway, so I thought I'd talk about the different types of potions, because if you use a potion incorrectly, then it's ineffective and you've just wasted that potion.
Yep.
So not all potions are liquids for you to drink. Obviously that's one of the main types. There's also like a salve, so you rub it on, like a Vaseline sort of thing. There's oils that can be poured onto weapons.
I've got some of that.
Yeah, see, you're looking at me like, are you sure? That doesn't sound right.
I wasn't, are you sure? I was like, how else can you take a potion? Then you were like, oh, it's fine. I was like, pills? Yeah. Can you make pills in this?
And there's a fourth type.
At least at Empower haven't gone cruel and like, here, take your potion as an enema.
Oh gosh, yes. They haven't gone that far. The fourth type is infusion, which can be burnt or boiled, and you inhale it.
This one's a suppository. Sorry, I have broken Tristan.
Sorry, I'm just the idea of role-playing in Edinburgh on the battlefield is just too much.
Well, not all potions can be used on a battlefield, actually.
Especially the enemy.
Yeah.
So what's the limiting factor there?
So there's different, obviously, those are the different forms that potions can come in. But there are also different types of potions as well. So the ones that you can actually use on the battlefield are called filters. And they are very quick 5-second roleplay potions. Which you literally just quickly drink, and there's, for example, the elixir vitae, as we mentioned before, can give you up to 3 hit points back, which I presume that means if you're down 3 hit points, you get the full 3, and if you're only down 2, you get 2. Like, you're not going to go into positive hit points.
There's no temporary hit points.
I'd love to see Tristan having an Emperor's New Groove moment when all the potion labels have fallen off and you're just taking them all. Oh shit! I've given myself weakness.
Well, funnily thing is, all characters should have the ability to recognise these potions because they're all very common.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, I think you can potentially ask a referee if you're not sure. But I think it's fairly customary for people to put in-character labels on. And
what happens in my experience is that you get given a card.
Oh, yeah, you'll have a potion card.
So you give them the card of the potion. So you essentially, really, you can have one fizz rep.
Yeah.
For a potion, and then like 10 cards or whatever.
Yeah,
just use that fizz rep and then tear the card.
If you're not actually drinking it. As we discussed before.
I actually got a fizz rep card when I was doing some throat slitting as a mercenary my first time. I was like, ooh, I got a health potion for free.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I couldn't loot the fizz rep, but hey ho, free potion.
That's fine. I'll make you a fizz rep.
Sadly, I lost the fizz rep,
the potion card,
the card somewhere, and I never got to use it.
That's a shame. Maybe you got robbed, pickpocketed.
I lost the card I stole from someone else.
No, travesty. The second type of potions that you can't use in battle, but you'd typically use just before battle and to prepare for it, are tonics, which are long-lasting potions. So they can sort of. Let me have a look an example of that. Actually, I've not got an example written down.
I usually have tonics with gin.
No. Well, for example, there are the tonics of the open sky, which sort of help you to endure wounds on the battlefield, and they can give you time to get to a healer or a Chirugeon. And they do things like that. They're like buff potions, basically, that last a longer amount of time, and you can only use one of those at a time. And if you take a second tonic, it cancels the previous one, and then you get the new effect. So if you take the wrong one, it's wasted. But you can undo it and take the one you actually wanted to take. But I'm sure it won't come to that. And then you've got poisons and antidotes as well. The interesting thing about poisons, you can't spike someone with a potion unless it's a poison. I don't know why you'd want to spike someone with a health potion, but you can't pretend. If you put a normal potion into food or any drink, I mean, unless you're putting it into water as part of a roleplay thing, or pretending to put it into water as a roleplay, it just neutralises it and it doesn't work. With poisons, you can live. You can say that you've put it in someone's food, but you have to give it to them. They have to ingest it within 15 minutes of you brewing the potion. And for that, you'll need a referee to sort of be there for you making the potion. And that you can sort of, I believe you can sort of bypass going to the god tent with that, and the referee can sort it out.
Some egregores can also.
Yeah, exactly. So then, as long as they consume it within 15 minutes, then they are poisoned. And then they've got a certain time limit depending on the poison in order to get the correct antidote. If you give them the wrong antidote, you've failed. They are going to die. Or, succumb to the effects of the poison.
This is a question I have. Can you put venom or poisons onto a weapon, or can it only be ingested?
That's a very interesting question. I imagine that you would be able to pour them onto a weapon potentially with tonics.
So, I know, because I have one, I've bought an oil for my sword that when I apply it to the sword for the next 15 seconds, it has the venom property.
So that'll be a tonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in the battlefield, I rip it, apply it to my sword, and then I have...
You do it in the battlefield?
Yeah. So you do it and you have 15 seconds with it venom. Shout venom as you hit someone, then the venom.
Okay, perhaps not a tonic then.
Maybe you should take that to go to the glory square.
Well, no, fucking hell. No, that's for Valorn, because then I can one-shot Valorn creatures. Dryads and stuff.
Valorn don't exist. Don't be silly, Tristan.
Don't out yourself on this podcast.
Yeah, people will be coming for you.
Oh no!
So poisons take effect from the moment that the person drinks them. And with that, so say if you poisoned like a water jug that several people are drinking out of, if you put one dose of poison in, it's just the first person who drinks from it. Oh, right, okay. If you put in several doses and one person drinks, you can only be poisoned once. But say if you put in 5 doses and 5 people drink from it, then all those 5 people will be poisoned. And the most fatal poisons can only take 30 minutes to kill.
So it takes a while then.
Yeah, those are the most fatal. So I don't imagine they want people to be all poisoning each other at LARP. Though I assume you'd have to be told that you've been poisoned as well, which gives you a chance to find someone who can make an antidote. But as I say, you require specific antidotes for specific poisons. And unless you find an ApotheKerrie who can make that poison, they won't know how to identify the poison.
I've heard that taking a trip to Navarre is a good place to find poisons.
Oh, fantastic.
And antidotes.
Yes.
Because obviously Imperial citizens only ever study poison so they can learn the antidote.
Yeah.
Of course. No.
We're the good guys of the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you don't study poisons, then you won't be able to identify them.
This is correct.
And then give the correct antidote.
This is correct.
So perhaps that's why Lupita is very interested in learning about poisons.
I'm sure it is.
With antidotes as well, you have to administer those within 15 minutes of making them, so you can't stockpile antidotes and have them ready.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
That would be so stressful.
So yeah, exactly. So if you've got 30 minutes to get an antidote, someone's got to make that antidote then and there. So you have to find someone who can make it, and then they have to do the appropriate role play. And I suppose the referee will still be there. So, you've got that. Maybe they'll have the antidote card on hand if you've got the appropriate herbs. Though obviously, the more complicated the potion and the more fatal potions, they'll probably take quite a lot of different herbs.
Hell.
Sometimes potions don't even just take herbs. They can also take Lao, Crystal Mana, and Ilium. and or Ilium. So some of these things are really rare to find. So while we say 30 minutes, that's plenty of time. We don't know exactly what the resources are that you might need to gather in that time.
I want to be there for someone getting poisoned.
I admit, I'm so glad from this episode that I am not important enough to poison.
Yeah.
Yes, you are going to be a guild.
The Count of Vagabonds.
Yeah.
That's just a title. I have no idea what I'm doing.
It depends how much of a thorn in people's side you
talking
become.
shit about the Valor not existing, people
Right,
are
let's.
There's no proof of that.
You just said it. We got it on. We got literally recorded it.
That was Tristan.
Wait, what?
So yeah, then, and imagine, someone's got this very fatal poison and you've scammered together and got some crystal mana and all these other things that you need, and it turns out to be the wrong antidote, and you've wasted all those resources and the character is dead.
That would be so good to just be a part to watch. Can you imagine?
Exactly. Like,
fucking hell.
I almost want to be a referee in that case.
Rolling that time I died, it's like, I'm dead. What? I'm dead?
Can you imagine the moment where you need 50 minutes to make a potion, it ticks over to you've been poisoned for 16 minutes and you're like, I'm dead?
Yeah.
In 14 minutes.
Oh,
I died. And you just kind of...
Yeah.
That's rough.
Do
you know if you can go terminal after being poisoned?
I don't know. I mean, I assume so, because going terminal, isn't that basically you're dead, but you get to go somewhere and die somewhere you want?
I don't know, because I don't know if you can be terminal once you've been executed.
I don't think execute is, but if you die on the battlefield and time out, then you can go terminal. And I would assume poison's you could probably say, it's rotted your guts, you're holding on with your willpower, but you're not going to hold out past the weekend.
I'm not sure. When I've just had a little search on the wiki, and when I've searched for terminal, it's just come up with the combat section.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll if anyone knows the answer to that, please write in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'd like to remind fans that we're very new people at Empire, so we will get stuff wrong. Yeah,
this is predominantly just research at the minute, and there's not too much we've actually put into practice. But that's fine. Also, in terms of identifying the potions, I've already mentioned before that any character will be able to recognise very basic potions, really. All the ones that basically you get if you get the ApotheKerrie skill. I think there's about 5 or 6 potions that you can automatically make from that, and they're just very basic. You mix 2 herbs together and you get them, and you can then use additional skill points to unlock other recipes, and they sort of come in clusters. So for example, if you get the...
I don't know about you, Tom, but this sounds like far too much effort.
Yeah, me being a simple beat stick,
just,
I won't go hit things.
Where am I setting my XP points? Hit, not die. Hit, not die.
I am not going to lie, I am liking the idea of maybe if Uncle Nietzsche dies, coming back as a backyard butcher physic.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty... I know a physic who does his physicking, but his character has experience as a vet. Mm-hmm. So he's like, don't worry, I've done this before. Well, on dogs, but I'm sure it's the same thing.
I just want sores in my pocket, covered in blood, be really backyard medicant to Sato Maestra.
Billy Butcher.
Oh, you fucking wait. Let's fix you up.
So, for example, if you use your extra skill point to unlock the Master Medicinal potions, there's 3 potions there, each of varying strength, basically. As I say, the strongest one, Sovereign Specific.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Isn't
Sovereign
that
Specific.
A character goal after a couple of a year's worth of work to get one?
The white whale. Well, the Holy Grail of potions, right? What does it do?
So this one...
you just all good?
Well, basically. You feel lightheaded when you take it, and then you feel refreshed and full of energy. An incredible sense of well-being suffuses you, and it's hard not to be filled with optimism and enthusiasm. It removes all venom and weakness from you, restores all limbs ruined by cleave and impale, and restores you to full hit points. So yeah, basically you're good.
You're good?
That's the magic cure. But it takes 3 drams of True Vervain, 1 dram of Imperial Rosewood, 1 of Cerulean Mazarine, Blade Root, and 1 of Marrowroot. So basically it uses up all the basic herbs. And 3 lots of the True Vervain, but though that is the more common one.
I feel like I need to go on a heist just to steal one of these.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would probably cost you a good few crowns, at least.
When I bought potions in the field, I bought Blood Harrow Filter.
Yeah.
And I got a free gift thrown in because I was friends with the guy. But they told me I pay for the resources and then some prosperity on top. I actually asked the person if I could say their name, so I won't mention them, but we did a competition together. and we won. So we're gonna get loads of herbs together. It was great fun. But I bought a potion off them, and it was literally like I paid for their resource. I think I paid 2 crowns for the resources, and chucked in 5 rings for like prosperity of kind of like.
For a blood harrow filter.
Yeah, might not have been. It's been a while since I paid for it.
That seems quite a lot.
Well, no, because how many resources in the blood harrow filter?
2. I think it's 2 herbs.
Yeah, so it's usually a crown per. That's how much.
You are right.
So a crown per herb, and then a bit of prosperity. So I think
obviously
I paid.
It depends on the
Merchant
current
price.
market.
Yeah,
well.
but like ish. It's usually about a crown per.
Roughly, give or take a few rings.
And then I just chucked like 5 rings on top.
Yeah, that's pretty fair for a potion, actually. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
I wasn't ripped off. That's good because
No,
I
you
thought I
weren't
was
ripped
friends
off.
with this
That's
person.
basically what I would charge. I think. I mean, obviously, depending on market prices.
It was just Tristan. He's a Dornish, aiming to be a Dornish noble. He doesn't understand money.
No, this is very true. I try not to care.
So, in order to identify a potion, you need to recognise the in-character description as well, because unless it's labelled, how else are you going to know which one it is? And you can't write on the out-of-character lammies, by the way. You know those little plastic cards that you get. You can't write the name on it. So if it's got like a description, even if you know it, you can't write on it.
I've got to admit, I don't
but you
think
can
I've got
label
the
the potion bottle.
I don't think I've got the memory to play an ApotheKerrie.
Yeah,
just remembering all
I'm
my
definitely going to need to
abilities
think.
and.
Though, if you are an ApotheKerrie and you're trained in various potions, you can check with the referee if you can't remember exactly, because there is a lot to remember. So if you would know it, you can tell them what potions you know, and if it matches, then.
My character just has tattoos of what every potion does all over my body.
Or you could carry around a little potion booklet.
Yeah,
tattoos is better.
Yeah, which you can actually get a
You
potion
can't lose a
booklet from
tattoo.
the in-character library.
Oh, cool.
I've got a little one. It doesn't cover all of the potions, but it was maybe 5 rings or something, and it covers the main ones.
I believe one of the noobs at LARP has written a fantastic one, so I hear.
An alchemist at ease, I think.
Yes, I need to have a look for that.
The alchemist at ease, I think.
One last point about identifying potions: you cannot use detect magic to identify them.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Well, not sick, but didn't know
Opposite of sick, mend.
that.
Well, it depends. Is it a poison?
True.
Has anyone got any questions for me? You haven't already asked.
Are you happy with your choice of becoming an ApotheKerrie from your first game? Are you glad you went down that route?
Well, so far so good, but then I wasn't really an ApotheKerrie at E1. It was what I was learning about, and I've actually done a bit of research and made the Fizz reps, and I'm going straight into it from E3. But I'm excited to get into it, definitely. I feel like I found my niche a little bit.
Yeah, you've done a great job with the stall, and I think ApotheKerrie gives you, if you're willing to put into the game, you're going to get a lot out of it, making potions and selling.
Well, as a non-combat character, I really needed to find something to sink my teeth into. And, the hospital which you did recommend me to go to, it just wasn't quite my jam. It's a bit chaotic, yeah.
Yeah, is it a place you really want to work when you've got anxiety?
Yeah, exactly.
People screaming in your face,
Well,
fix me.
It is a bit, and you're like, who am I going to have to, do surgery on, and what am I going to do, and how do I pretend to do surgery? Like, I had to fix somebody's spleen with fake surgical equipment. I didn't know where the spleen was.
Being a patient at the hospital is one of my LARP highlights.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So funny. Like, it was like when I first got it, it was like the most immersive thing I'd done so far. It was crazy. Just like screaming as someone cuts me open with a scalpel. It was crazy.
But it's incredibly immersive. So, I mean, definitely have a go at it if you want to, but be ready to like really sink into the role play. Otherwise, you're just going to look like a deer in the headlights a little bit because
you are.
Yeah, exactly. Though when you go, you can find people to buddy up with. So I got to work with a more experienced physic, and she sort of helped me talk through it, and she helped me with the role play.
Yeah, I had that when I went.
And that was quite good.
Someone was like tutoring the person who was like cutting me open and then pulling out bits of rusty sword. It was a time. It was. I don't think my favourite one was I just like I laid down. I was like, it's just a potion, right, doc? That's all I need. And they went, oh, honey.
Yeah.
And then was like, I'm making the incision. And I was like,
is it the Valorn who, like, when you get the bits of bark growing on you when you
No.
get attacked by them?
Briars,
oh yes,
isn't it?
that's well.
No, Briars are the race.
Oh,
that
yeah,
have them,
sorry.
But when you get attacked by them,
I guess that's probably Vaughan. Sounds like Vaughan.
yeah. So someone came in with one of those on their hand, like a little fizz rep of it. And the person I was working with used their little scalpel, or helped me use, well, actually I used a little scalpel to like get it off and whatever. And she got out this little bruise kit. So it's like a little makeup palette. And she was there like rubbing it, like, oh, here we go, we'll get it a little bit better.
Fun.
And at the end of it, he had what looked like quite a convincing bruise on his hand, which, I really love little details like that.
Yeah, I don't think I have any more questions. Just what's
Have you got a favourite potion?
I mean, sovereign specific is quite. It's something to aspire to, but I don't want to use all my resources on one potion.
I reckon you could get a good, maybe a throne for a sovereign specific.
I have no idea. I don't think we should discuss prices because I think that's
I
outside
don't
of community
think we should.
guidelines.
Exactly. Though I'm going to go for a good old elixir vitae because
Oh,
it's nice and
classic.
easy to make,
Like
and
a-
also
like-
I love that colour. It's a bluey greeny sort of teal.
It feels
colour.
like a classic Coke. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's like
yeah,
the one everyone
exactly.
knows. It's a
very easy
classic.
to make. I've got. It's the only one I've made two of. That's how much I like it.
I feel
Exactly.
like I've learnt a lot from you today, Lapita.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned there's too much work and I'm going to keep hitting people with my
Yeah.
stick.
I like how I've gone like, no, I don't want to do combat. It sounds too carrying the arm around. It's too much physical effort. Let's do a little bit
Mental
of
effort.
mental effort instead.
ApotheKerries do the work so fighters can go and do the play.
Yeah. And we just recalled the money when you buy our potions.
It's an economy that never fails.
No, yeah.
Well, thank you for teaching us about potions, Lapita. We're sure to buy many more in future games.
I will charge you extortionately.
I know.
And thanks everyone for listening. Hopefully we'll see you at Empire and we'll see you next week for our next episode. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Bye.